Hey everybody, it's JT in his first, and I say first, go live in or on YouTube. The reason I'm experimenting with this is number one, I teach a course in social media marketing, and I should be aware of the advantages and disadvantages of all the platforms. And so I thought I would try the YouTube platform and going live. And I've had some issues with Facebook in in the sense that it's a little quirky when you want to share your videos. So I thought that for sure I would try this new way of going. The disadvantage, of course, is I have to build up my my followers in YouTube, or people who will view me, and that's a positive because it makes you less comfortable, and it gets you to engage and your friends and your connections in other media. So it's really a good experience, and I'll let you know the advantages and disadvantages of going live in on Facebook as well as going live on YouTube. Um, I One of the things that I was screaming about is that yesterday I was going to have my O AOC article published in Newsmax, and even though I got the article over to them early, like Sunday night, for some reason they're only going to take a look at it today. And I got a little nervous. Did I do something wrong? Because they always publish my stuff the first thing in the morning. And I, wrote back to my editor, did I do something wrong? And he wrote back, no problem. Uh, a lesson to be learned here, if there's any kind of a lesson to be learned, it's not about you. It's about others. And who knows what could have been on my editor's plate for him to not publish the article. But of course, I felt I had to have done something wrong. And anyway, that's a good lesson. Sometimes all this really is in life is people reacting to their own circumstance. So anyway, thought I would share that with you. Some other things that are going on here in New York City is we're in for a snowstorm and or a snow event. We don't know whether or not it's going to be a storm or not. And in New York and in on Facebook, I have over 5,000 friends. Not over 5,000, close to 5,000. It's like 4,997 so-called friends. And by now, I would be having a lot of "way to go, JT," "hi there," people are waving. I got nobody here saying anything to me. So that's kind of like, it's almost like being on the radio when you would speak and you would get no feedback, maybe a call or two. It's that kind of, I wouldn't say you don't know how you're doing. You know, when you're in the classroom, you can see if your students are smiling, are they snoring, or they texting. You get an idea of the effect that you're having. In this medium, and as on the radio, you really don't know what people are thinking about. And to a certain extent, you can get that more on Facebook. So Facebook is an advantage in that sense until you get a following on YouTube. But the nice thing about YouTube is it's what I would call inter-platform compatibility. So that all you got to do is get the link and it's shown and boop a doop. You don't have to worry about other kinds of issues. So that's something to think about. So what else do I really want to talk about? I just want to say my advice to Democratic candidates running for president in 2020 is to underscore the marketing concept, which is it's not about you, it's about your customers. And that's the really advantage, or well, I guess, and I'm going to probably get into trouble for saying it, but I have to say it. That's the brilliance of President Donald Trump. He understands the needs of people who have been forgotten or have never been spoken to. I should say have never been spoken to. They were spoken to by Franklin Roosevelt. But today, because most people are in politics want to be hip and talk among themselves, their message or what they talk about doesn't resonate with middle America. It resonates with a highly educated group of people who think that everyone thinks like them. And I'll give you something, another thing that I'm going to get in trouble about, but you have to say it. And that is when you talk about global warming and how AOC is now talking about the Green New Deal. And they're comparing it to Franklin Roosevelt. I mean, this is nuts. First of all, the environment is important, no question about it. But to the single mother or to the person who's trying to make a living, global warming or the environment, for all intents and purposes, is not important to them. It just isn't. And I'm not saying that we should not be aware and not be careful of what we do to the environment. We certainly should. It's just not as important as things like minimum wage, health care, child care, and whether or not the economy is doing best for you. So even though these are great talking points, when youngins and my colleagues who have PhDs want to talk about the what are important issues of the day, it may be good for maybe 15-20% of the population, but it doesn't resonate. And as long as Democrats are looking at their issues as important and not looking at the issues that the people that they need to vote for them find important, they are not going to win. And so my advice to anyone running for office, it's not about you, it's all about your customers. Follow me on Twitter at Marketing Doctor. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is John Tantillo at Marketing Doctor. See, that's in the back. I don't know if that's going to come out the right way. It probably isn't, but if I change it, let's see. Okay. No. It's, I don't know whether or not my background is coming out mirror form, or once it goes live, or once I publish it, it will go, the normal way, so it will flip around. So that's some of the things I'm learning here. I'm trying to look. Okay, I'm playing with this, so this is real time. Let's see what this one thing does.